Hibernate specific implementations in Hibernate. Here you can see Hibernate specific implementation. As a Jakarta persistent provider, Hibernate implements the Java persistent API specifications and association between Jakarta persistence interfaces and Hibernate specific implementation can be visualized in the following diagram. Session factory org.hibernate.session factory, a thread safe and immutable representation of mapping of application domain model to a database, acts as a factory for org.hibernate.session instances. The entity manager factory is the Jakarta persistent equivalent of a session factory, and basically those two converge into the same session factory implementation. A session factory is very expensive to create, so for any given database, the application should have only one associated session factory. The session factory maintains services that Hibernate uses across the sessions, such as second level caches, connection pools, transaction system integrations, etc. Session org.hibernate.session, a single threaded short-lived object conceptually modeling a unit of work. In Jakarta persistence nomenclature, the session is represented by the entity manager. The behind the scene, the Hibernate session wraps a JDBC java.sql.connection and acts as a factory for org.hibernate.transaction instances. It maintains a generally repeatable read persistent context first level cache of the application domain model. Transaction org.hibernate.transaction, a single threaded short-lived object used by the application to demarcate individual physical transaction boundaries. Entity transaction is the Jakarta persistent equivalent and both act as an abstraction API to isolate the application from the underlying transaction system in use JDBC or JTA. Here you can see session factory IMPL is connect. Here you can see session factory IMPL class implement session factory interface implement entity manager factory interface. Here's session IMPL class implement session interface implement entity manager interface. Here transaction IMPL class implement transaction interface implement entity transaction interface. Now this is the end of my presentation. Thank you very much for watching it.